Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ramon and I'm going to show you some movies again. Movies that were released in the 1980s. Let's start with the first one. This is Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken in John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Great action flick. So I also bought a Blu-ray. This is John Huston's Escape to Victory, starring Michael Caine and Sylvester Stallone and soccer legends like British defender Bobby Moore and Brazilian forward Pelé. This is a very effective horror flick directed by Sidney Furie, The Entity, starring Barbara Hershey. And this is a mystery drama directed by Nicholas Roeg, Eureka, starring Gene Hackman, Joe Pesci, Rutger Hauer, Teresa Russell and Mickey Rourke. Another Shaw Brothers production. This is The Emperor and His Brother, starring T. Lung and directed by Jun Shaw. Then 7 movies from a very well-known horror franchise. This is Friday the 13th, the first one released in 1980, directed by Sean Cunningham, and Kevin Bacon makes an appearance in this one. This is the sequel, and here we have part 3. Both sequels were directed by Steve Miner. Here we have the 4th one, the final chapter, starring a very young Corey Feldman. This is part 5, The New Beginning. Part 6, Jason Lives. And part 7, The New Blood. I like the first 3 movies in the franchise the most, especially the 3rd one, because that's the one where Jason gets to wear his iconic mask for the first time. Yeah, I really like those movies. Then a masterpiece by Swedish director Ingmar Bergman. And this is Funny och Alexander, Funny and Alexander. This is the theatrical version of the movie that was 3 hours long. And I also own the 5-hour long version produced for television. And this is the US set containing both versions of the movie. Yeah. This is Tom Holland's vampire classic Fright Night, starring Chris Sarandon and Roddy McDowall. Teen comedy by John Hughes, Ferris Bueller's Day Off with Matthew Broderick and Alan Ruck. This is a sci-fi film, Flight of the Navigator. I really liked this one as a kid. It was directed by Randall Kleiser, who also directed movies like Grease and The Blue Lagoon. Yeah. Joe Chung directed the heroic bloodshed film Flaming Brothers, starring Chow Yun-fat and Alan Tang. And based on a Stephen King novel, this is Mark Lester's Firestarter with David Keith and Drew Barrymore, and one of my favorite scores by Tangerine Dream. The hit film Footloose is also in my collection, starring Kevin Bacon and John Lithgow. And this is an Italian giallo horror hybrid directed by Lamberto Bava, and it stars Serena Grandi. Delirium, the photo of Gioia. It also stars a very sexy pop star from from the 80s, Sabrina, and she did that cheesy song, "Boys, Boys, Boys." You know what and every young guy, well, every guy my age still remembers the video clip for that song. I'm pretty sure of that. This is a Dutch classic comedy, uh, directed by Dick Maas, who also did Amsterdam. This is Flodder, and Flodder is basically is a raunchy take on an American television show, Beverly Hillbillies. Was very successful. Two sequels followed. The third one was Flodder in Amerika, which took place and was shot in America. And after that, a very successful television show followed, uh, lasting 5 seasons. Yeah, a real classic over here in the Netherlands, Flodder. This is David Cronenberg's body horror flick, The Fly, remake of a classic Vincent Price film. This one stars Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. An animated sword and sorcery film directed by Ralph Bakshi, Fire and Ice. Yeah, great one. This is a romantic drama starring Robert De Niro and Meryl Streep, Falling in Love, directed by Ulu Groosbart. I think you pronounce it like that. And this is a terrific, campy sci-fi flick directed by Mike Hodges, Flash Gordon. This is the Dutch DVD. And I also own a Blu-ray with Max von Sydow on the front cover. A very famous movie set at a high school for the performing arts, I guess. Singing, dancing, theater, directed by Alan Parker. This is Fame. Kim Basinger and Sam Shepard star in Robert Altman's Fool for Love. Produced by Canon, adventure film Firewalker with Chuck Norris and Lou Gossett Jr., directed by J. Lee Thompson. And this is one of Chang Cheh's best films. A very over-the-top, trashy and gory martial arts film, The Five Element Ninjas. This is Chuck Norris in the action flick Forced Vengeance. And this is an action thriller starring Clint Eastwood, Firefox. He also directed this one. This is one of my favorite Chevy Chase films, Fletch. And also in this set, the sequel, Fletch Lives. Both were directed by Michael Ritchie. Adventure film set in the Middle Ages. Flesh and Blood. Film by Verhoeven, starring Rutger Hauer and Jennifer Jason Leigh. This is an animated classic by Walt Disney, or by the Disney Studios, The Fox and the Hound. Another great teen comedy, I love those teen comedies, Amy Heckerling's Fast Times at Richmond High, with Sean Penn and Phoebe Cates, Eric Stoltz and others. Not very well known, this martial arts film. I loved it as a kid. It's not very good. Force a 5, and it stars Joe Louis. Joe Louis was an American martial arts champion, and he trained with or under Bruce Lee, and he did a few movies. This one also stars Benny the Jet Urquidez and Richard Norton. Richard Norton made a lot of movies with Cynthia Rothrock, and I think nowadays he's a fight choreographer. Yeah, Force 5. Three members of the Venom mob star in Chang Cheh's The Flag of Iron. It's great kung fu flick, this one. And the first collaboration between actor Kevin Costner and director Kevin Reynolds, Fandango. really good one. Moody horror classic by John Carpenter, The Fog, starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Tom Atkins. This is the fourth and final part in a franchise directed by Stano, in which Bud Spencer plays a cop from Naples. This is Flatfoot on the Nile, aka Flatfoot in Egypt. Amusing slasher starring Dennis Christopher, and there's a small part in it for Mickey Rourke, Fade to Black. Kirk Douglas and Martin Sheen in the movie The Final Countdown, very similar to a Japanese film, G.I. Samurai with Sonny Chiba, but both films are worth a watch. This is the action thriller FX Murder by Illusion, starring Brian Brown and Brian Dennehy. And the last one for today is Fear City by Abel Ferrara, film about a serial killer in New York, stars Tom Berenger, Billy D. Williams, and Melanie Griffith. I hope you enjoyed, guys. And if you want to do me a favor, then please hit that like button. It's good for the algorithm. Tune in next time. Goodbye.